For postural correction, postural endurance and stability in the spine and all of the joints, I love just doing the basics every week. So I make sure that I get bridging done for clients and do that front, back, side, side, and then segmental control in the spine as well. So that may be done with hollow body holds are isometric, but then doing a roll up and a roll down and a crunch and a roll up and a roll down and a cobra, really effective as a minimum. Now you can add on all the other stuff on top of that, but I find just getting those done will maintain a good amount of stability through the spine so that way you can be healthy. So even if you just did 3 minutes of each of those per week, you would keep everything healthy and you keep that tone in the muscle. If you've got more time, take it and do the 6 minutes and do those 3 sets of 1 minute holds each way. So basic bridging, just getting 4 point to 2 point, really good. And that's great because you're getting that transverse plane loading as well as that sagittal front back loading. You can make that harder by being on the toes and just taking the hands off or just taking the feet off, and then you can advance that out to doing alternating arm and leg lift as well. So you're really getting that anterior and that posterior chain. Now to mirror that, just doing the bridging on the back and getting that position there, quite cool. Getting the glutes on, you can have the feet together to start with before you do the leg lifts. To make that one harder, you just have the feet apart. And that's going to challenge that transverse plane, so you're trying to keep the pelvis level. That one is gold, just doing those 2 front back, minute, really good for health of the shoulder, the hips, so much return on invested time. Then side bridging, just doing the basic ones like that where you've just got the forearm and just getting that lateral stability through the spine and the neck, really effective. Now if you find the shoulders a little bit deconditioned for that, or it doesn't like that position to start with, you can just do the side lying. Just remember when you're doing that, you're working the upside. When you're doing the other one, you're working the downside. And just to mirror both sides, always make sure whatever you get done on one side, you do on the other side. You may start with just 30 seconds a side and build up to a minute each side, but just tick that off every week. Those 2 core exercises. Now, the hollow body holds and the segmental work, you might alternate between the 2 of them, but you want to get that flexion chain strength. So rolling it up and then unrolling it. Doing these on a ball is even better because you're going into extension to mobilize the spine. But you might find that just doing leg slides for that anterior chain like that is great. So it's open chain with the leg, as opposed to the bridging where the feet are fixed onto the ground or the knees. Then you can go double leg. You can start these out with the neutral spine and then you're going into the hollow body versions, just depending on how that feels in the body. It's really up to you whether you're going to do the segmental or just the static, but it's good to get that nice anterior chain strength that crosses over into the neck to stabilize it. The reverse of that is basic ones. You can just do the alternating Superman. So you're just getting that opposite arm and leg, getting that extension, not excessively extending in the lower back. And then you can work on the cobras, whether it's just rolling up, so you're looking up with the eyes, and then taking one vertebra down at a time. I like doing those standing, or even kneeling is really good as well. So that way you're feeling that nice segmental. Eyes up into that arch. And rolling down. Standing is great because you can double that as a nice sustained hamstring stretch in that cobra position with the knees locked out, quads drawn up. Making those harder in just this in static holds, and then you can work the different arm positions. So whether you're just going as a cobra down the side, like that, or whether you're going into the W position, the T, the Y, the I, just make sure that you don't overload those upper traps and the neck when you're doing it, that you're really conscious of that. But getting a minute front back of those, minute front back on the bridging, minute side side on the bridging, and the front back bridging, you can induce that nice transverse plane load by alternating, having opposite arm and leg lifted, or even if just one limb, you're going to find there's that transverse plane load that goes through. So ticking those off every week is great. 6 minutes 3 times a week, minimal investment for a maximum return. So combining those with the 9 key lifts, which also offer all that mobility as well. So just keep it simple, stay active, and enjoy the process of healing and nurturing your body to make it stronger to enjoy life. See you next time.